Hello everyone and welcome back to Metroid, where last time we dove in and saw all sorts of oddities that are happening within this crazy game, and today it's only going to get even weirder as we corrupt Ram in real time as we attempt to beat it. We're going to be going through, seeing if we can beat Kraid and Ridley and eventually Mother Brain, all while the game shreds around us. But before we get to that, one thing I thought we would do is, since we learned about it in the last episode, we might as well power up a little bit, because the goal today is not to fight off the aliens of space, but rather to combat the game again as it's imploding. So I think if we put an 07 here, that's gonna give us our 7 energy tank, something you don't normally see in the main game. Putting an FF into the next slot should give us all of our power-ups. High jumping, screw attacking, the super powered up ice beam that you don't even normally see in the final game, which is just so darn cool. The next couple have to do with missiles. This should be the kind of max missiles that we can hold, while this is our current missile count. So I think that is what we're going to take with us today as we travel into the planet again after going after those bosses and eventually hopefully being able to access Mother Brain's lair. That's the thing too I just thought about. It's completely possible we'll go through all that and then the corruption just won't let us get to the end of the game. We'll find a way around, I'm sure. But with that though, again, let's just make sure we save. Let's turn the corruptor on. I noticed Samus didn't get her Varia suit colors. Whoa, that was like record time. The game broke like 2 seconds and already it's shredded. I think we're only writing like 2 garbage bytes per every 60 frames, so like per every second. So I'm not sure why it would break that fast. But yeah, did it come back? I did not load state. I did not load state. The game just decided it wanted to start working again. Despite the fact that... So is that just the thing in Metroid? Like, it looks like it's broken? What the heck? What the heck? It went from like the most easily broken game to like the most resilient in the span of 15 seconds there, where I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the worst episode ever. We're not going to make it like 5 steps, and then it just resurrected itself twice now. I should be saving state more frequently. In fact, I should be saving like multiple states, in case one of them just ends up being too bad. Oh, one thing I noticed we didn't do is I never gave us any health for those E-tanks. So excuse me as I go up here, because the 30 health that the game tries to start you with is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, at least start you with 99. Who decided that 30 made any sense? So it was 106 where our health was. And remember, this 3 is the first digit there, and then the 6 is the second one. So if we did like 90 and then 09, that gives us 99 health, and I think it was this 0 here, which is how many E-tanks we have full. So okay, we've beefed up to the max here, but again, I think hopefully that should get us through. It's more about just seeing if the game shreds into pieces than it is about me, having to grind for HP. No, actually, it's better if we go down one more door. Don't gotta do any morph ball shenanigans, but yeah, it's Metroid. And then, like, again, I was gonna start singing the praises of Mario 2, which we've seen be really resilient over the, over the videos and stuff that we looked at it, where it just kind of always hung in there no matter what we threw at it, it felt like. And Metroid, like, this doesn't look good, but am I correct to assume if we just do nothing, eventually it will start working again? I mean, the screen's kind of going dark, which makes me think maybe this time we're just a little bit too far gone. But, I mean, it came back twice now. Who's to say it can't do it a third time? I could fast forward a little bit. Tap that tab button a few times. Maybe hold it down. Okay, this time I think we're done. When it kicks you back to the title screen, you know you're done. But that's why we made a save state here. Alright, so yeah, first into Kraid's lair here. I normally do Ridley first, because you kind of... as you're powering up, and that's one thing that, it's going to shave a little bit of time off today. I don't want to occupy your whole evening here. Again, it's mostly just kind of seeing what crazy things happen with the corruptor turned on. And it's not just about breaking the game because I don't like it, but it's because you never know what's going to happen if that right value gets inserted at that right address, and suddenly we unlock all the secrets of the universe here that no one's ever seen before. Probably not. I like how it even looks like a bit of a question mark there. Oh, well, it did before she evaporated. But it could still come back. Okay, I'm assuming that this time, with the black screen of death upon us, I'm gonna hold the tab button for just a. It actually came back. What? That's crazy. That's I don't even know what to say to that. Like, but now we're a blue Samus and she can't shoot. And yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's how that was supposed to look. Like, I'm stuck here now. I can't shoot. Well, I can bomb still. We can still bomb. So I can still get through this door, but that's actually fascinating. But will it open up the door for us? No. Bombs are not opening the door. And you can see that she's trying to shoot, but she's stuck in, like, blue mode here. So she can't attack. And then it's gonna glitch again. That's really funny. Okay, this time we're gonna load. Again, within like milliseconds, but if I hold tab, it comes back. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy that the game is so broken and then it fixes itself. Like, I cannot explain that phenomenon. It just seems so impossible that the game is glitched like that, but then you wait, you know, 15 to 30 seconds and it's not. If anyone wants to explain what's going on behind the scenes, I will gladly listen. Okay, so hopefully this time we don't turn into blue Samus mode. And yeah, this is where we want to go. We want to go down here and to the right. And we're getting ever closer to the Kraid battle here. Should turn our missiles on. Defeat that guy in one hit. So that's the thing about the Ice Beam, is it's like so useful for just freezing dudes. And that's like, okay, I don't even have to deal with you. But then, of course, if you do actually want to take an enemy out, you've got missiles to do that. So in order to get the Kraid, we got to do a sort of sneaky thing down the side here. And alright, everyone, it's time for the Kraid battle! Or not, he's dead. For some reason, there's a fake Kraid. If anyone wants to explain the lore behind the fake Kraid, I will not complain. But no, it's just kind of a fake-out fight where the real Kraid battle is yet to come. Now, aside from, like, the occasional freezing and then not for some reason, we actually haven't had that bad of luck when it comes to the glitching. What a weird kind of bounce that was after falling there. Although if some funkier things could happen, that would be cool. Attempting to enter Kraid's lair did kind of blow the game up, but I'm not even going to press the fast forward button this time. My bet is that in like within 10 seconds, we are shooting Kraid in the face because the game revives itself. Like, I did not touch anything. I did not touch anything. Now, I don't think that's the correct room that was supposed to take us to. As I think it's supposed to be Kraid's lair we were going into. And yet... Okay, now the game is doing some funky things. We've got the gray screen of death now. Because if we pull the map back up, like, we went through here, down here, and we're supposed to be in here. So I have no idea what room it was taking us to then. Can I hold tab? It eventually did fix itself. Okay, well, I hit an invisible wall. There's no Kraid to be seen. We're actually gonna load state. Just to see if we can actually... Alright. Title screen, here we go. I don't think that Kraid is on the title screen. Can we actually enter the Kraid fight this time? Every time we try to enter that room, the game has a freak out. And then it fixed. And then, so this has to be that maybe it changed which value the Kraid room is supposed to be. Where is our map of all the rooms in the game here? And let's see if we can find where Kraid is supposed to be. Maybe we'll turn the corruption off for just a second. Hold on there while we're looking at the map. So Kraid's room is 1D. Again, how can we find this? I guess there's lots of 2 O's here. If you see 3 2 O's in a row. In fact, we could probably get Control F out here. And if we put 20, 20, 20. All right, there you go. And that looks right. So 1E, 1F, 20, 20, 20. So OF. Okay, so this is OF. And then it goes 1, 5. And then we have to skip a row because remember, this is like, you know, it extends more to the right. So then we have to go down 1 row. And then directly below this OF should be 1D when it was actually switched to 9, 6. Because, yeah, we have 1, 5. So 1, 5 drops down to 1B. And then to the left of that, it's supposed to be 1D. So, yeah, the corruptor actually changed a bit of the map, which is really cool. Except it's like the one room that we really didn't want it to change. So we'll change that back then to 1D. Come here. But if we load states, that's probably going to change back. So like I should do this. It's 9, 6 again. We can do 1D there. Make sure we're turning the corruptor back on. I'm leave it on the map for a second there. So you can see if anything else funky is happening with the map over on the right. But that should now allow us to fight Kraid, theoretically. But yeah, I love the map change. I was hoping that something like that would happen, just not in such an important room. And again, with the kind of, it's freaking out. But if we wait 10 seconds, will we be able to play again? It's interesting, again. You can kind of maybe see some graphics that were left over from the Famicom Disk System version, which is really cool. If you've never played the FDS version, it's like on Nintendo Switch Online. A little bit of a different experience. I highly recommend checking it out. You even get save files and all that, so no need to worry about passwords. This time it looks like it might not be coming back. We'll try tab just to... Oh my... I can't believe it. Like probably another 30 seconds it took. Tab again. I just can't believe that the game is so broken. Look at that! Look at the camera shenanigans going on. And this is kind of the strat for Kraid. You just get up in his face because the spikes that he shoots, you know, block your missiles. And we'll save that. Although this might be a really bad idea because of how the room is laid out now. I might be stuck in here. Also, there's an E-tank in Kraid's fight room. So if you lose a lot of health, or if you haven't, you know, collected 6 E-tanks yet, it's of course a good one to kind of get your hands on. Although it's always been the biggest pain in the butt trying to get in there because you have to do it with the morph ball. That's the trick! That's the trick! Okay, we're all learning something new today. Is that by putting a bomb here, and then you can kind of like shoot yourself over into the... That is so cool. I don't know if like, I mean, everybody probably knows that except me, but maybe other people will be impressed by that as I am. And look at, so... it's interesting because I guess, you know, the max is normally 6, but because we gave ourselves 7... you know, we've exceeded the max already. Getting that E-tank actually added an 8th one, which looped around to the other side of the screen. So, you know, we broke whatever the game logic is, telling it not to give us more than, you know, the normal amount of E-tanks. Unfortunately, we now appear to be stuck. Again, because of all like the weird room shenanigans, but look at that. Look at how easy it is now to get this thing. Like, you go here, you go boom. I mean, it did work. I think it's because my bomb was not perfectly on the ground. Like, that's so easy! I love that! And look at that! I even did like a jump out of the hole because you can do like a weird thing where like if you come out of the warp ball, you can still like, or morph ball, you can still jump. Okay, well that's all well and good. Except we kind of appear to be, you know, in the glitch zone now. Trying to go through this door does not make the game all that happy. I think I know, like, we're this 1B, right? Maybe it's because it's trying to go to a room that doesn't exist? I'm so confused where we even are supposed to be on this map. Actually, no, we're 1D. Right? 1D, 1B. Okay. I mean, booting us back to the title screen... I would rather it actually destroy us, and then we could get, like, the password and continue. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe we should just jump into the old prune juice here And if we take our health down to 0... Okay, let's save this. Let's continue. Alright, everyone, I expect you to remember that. And then that's going to bring us back here. And we're going to have, like, no energy, but, you know, that's something we can fix. Wow, so... that's because of, like, the E-tanks. I guess we got too many. Now it thinks that we only have one, which is, like, fair enough. So if I did, like, 9-0... what if I still filled E-tanks that we don't even have? Well, that's not gonna help. Again, maybe if we fast forward, we'll come out of it. Like, I can't believe that. Dang it. Okay. And then I'm gonna do, like, 6-9. So, I said that we have 6 E-tanks, even though it looks like we only have 1. Okay, and that is our trip through Kraid's lair. One more layer to go, plus the final area. Let's see if we can get there. So now we gotta work our way all the way up and around to Norfair through Brinstar here. So far looking like a leisurely stroll upwards until it's not. It looks like whatever room was probably supposed to be here is missing. Interesting kind of looping around the side of the screen, Mario 3 style. That's not something I think you ever see in Metroid, but it was working really nicely there. Fascinating that pushing up, you know, was making me jump. And we were even getting like some, oh actually no, of course we were getting the respawn music because of the whole game over fiasco. How could I forget? Let's make a different save state. I think we were on slot 8 before. We've moved over to slot 7 now. Alright, Kraid, dead. Ridley, you're next. Again, but we gotta go through a whole Brinstar adventure. So the map has definitely been changed. And I guess it's time to go back and find out just where we are. Can I do this? Whoa! This and this to try and get our bearings. So down here somewhere, what part of the map are we looking for? Something where there's like a bunch of 06s, 03. This part where it's like 17, 18, 17, 18, 17, 18 would be really good to find. Maybe we should search for that? Okay. Yes. Remember, you have to skip a line. So here's 1718, 1718, 1718. So if we go to the left a bit, we should find, 07, FF, 06. So 06. Right? So 06. Yeah, 03, 06, 06. And then EB, this is probably the incorrect one. This should probably be something different. If we change this to like 06, and then that should lead us back up to this 18. This should be good now. Although, now that I think about it, what's even happening with the game? Oh, is it still working? Whoa, unpausing brings us back to the title screen? Like, really? What if I fast forward a bit and then unpause? Okay, well, that is why we were really smart and made the separate save state after we beat Kraid. But now we know which value we have to fix. This EB needs to go back to being 06. And now we shouldn't have any trouble getting out of the hole here. Well, that can happen. That can definitely happen. And put a damper on our day. But maybe if we just wait like a couple of seconds, we'll be good. Hopefully. Or not. Again, that's what technology's for. Okay. This one little shaft here has been more difficult than like the entirety of Kraid's lair combined. I think we're making some decent progress though. Again, when you know where to go, Metroid's not too bad, especially since we're not having to worry too much about power-ups and all that. We powered ourselves up completely. That's a lot of the time spent in Metroid. Ooh. Is having to go around and, collect the stuff that then really makes getting the rest of the stuff easier. Where I think I've mentioned already that normally I would do Ridley's lair because you're over there, but, Kraid's is technically closer to the beginning of the game, but normally you can't even get down this shaft because you need the bombs to get through the floor there. But okay, Finally, we're out of there. And, you know, I'm one of those video game hoarders who hates using consumable items, even though we have a lot of missiles. Actually, not as many as you'd think. I guess we, you know, used a lot during the Kraid fight. Of course, we have the screw attack as well, which is very nice. But okay, getting to Ridley's lair means going up and then right and then down and then right and then down. Oh, that was a really short-lived glitch. Again, I would love to know just the science behind, like, why that happens and, like, how it's even possible for the game to fix itself after this. Like, how does it correct from what seems like such a devastating crash? And it's just like, nope, psych, joking. That's incredible. I mean, it still fixed itself for just a moment before crushing all of our hopes and dreams. Alright, some glitched tile going on. That's what we want. But yeah, Metroid 1's a lot of, like, go through this repetitive looking corridor and then go through another one that looks exactly the same. You gotta, like, memorize what colors different things are, and, you know, that's why people will draw a map. I've never been one to have to draw maps for platformers. Where me and maps come in is the first-person RPGs. Those ones like The Bard's Tale or Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Pool of Radiance. Those ones, you know, maps could be required at times. I've never really been one to need a map when it's a left and right side scrolling game. But once you're introducing, like, you know, directions, like north, south, east, and west, then I'm toast. Like, even the overhead RPGs, I've always been pretty good at knowing where I'm going. Alright, someday we'll get through here. And now from here, it should be down. Again, any glitch that wants to, like, get rid of the enemies so that I don't slam my face into them as I'm going down these tunnels here. I wouldn't complain. I wonder what it hits. Look at that. Actually, you know, we've never really sat on the title screen to see what happens after it resets. Maybe just like every other crash, it will take us back to where we were previously, although I'm not holding my breath on that one. Maybe it will boot up like the Famicom Disk System, you know, file select screen. That would be so cool to see that in the NES version. I really have no idea what remnants of that were left over when they converted it to a cartridge with passwords. But now, that's the best story I've ever seen right there. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the end of this tunnel, and we still have to go through Norfair, and then Ridley's lair, and then all the way back to the beginning, pretty much, for Mother Brain. We've got a long way to go. Okay, humor me. Humor me for a sec. Okay. What if... Listen to some of those weird sounds. We are in this tunnel right now. Where are we? We're here. What happens if you put an elevator down to Norfair, but like here? I'm curious. Let's do this 1-4. Where can I find that 1-4? Is it like here? 0312 121415. Maybe I'll search 121415 if it hasn't been glitched. And that looks right because you have 03121415. I'm gonna change this 1-4 then to an OB. And I'm curious what happens if there's an elevator in like a room that's... Okay, well, we might have to load state and then do it. Will it take us, like, directly down, or will it still take us correctly to the beginning of Norfair? Because we could just spawn a few elevators and, like, get right to Ridley's lair. I'm cool with that. I won't complain. Ugh. Not looking good. Is this even possible, or is it always going to crash? Yeah, it really doesn't like you going into a room that's, like, supposed to have an elevator, maybe? But, like, it knows it's not the right room for it? You can see how much further we still have to go in this room before we get to the actual OB. We'll try it one more time. One more time here. Let's do it a little bit earlier. Why the heck not? And see You know, this is one of those cases where trying to cheese the game is actually just making things take even longer. Oh, it worked that time. Although there's no elevator loaded, so we kind of just fell to oblivion. Okay, okay, well, I guess I will see you all. Actually, you know what could save us some time? Is Samus's X speed. Let's get the cheat menu once again loaded back up here. Remember, we had that at 2.4 so that we were a little bit faster. Like, you wouldn't even know this wasn't the normal speed in the game. It just feels so comfy. But another thing I'm realizing I don't think we ever looked at in the last part is that we can change Samus's X and Y position on the map, apparently. And we haven't tried this yet, so it may or may not work. But once we get into Norfair, I think it would become something, you know, kind of fair to give a shot. But look at that. Look how much more awesome Metroid is when you're not moving at a snail's pace. All right, we're going to save that state. So, 4F and 5O are Samus's X and Y position on the overworld map. Not just like on screen, but on the overworld map. So if we go back to 4F and 5O. 4F is OD, 5O is 1.6. Let's see how those change. The Y position was the 4F one. So theoretically, as I move down, this one should change probably to like OE. There you go, OE. So now we're in room OE, where if I go to the right, this 1.6 probably becomes 1.7. Okay. So, the question is then, what happens if we make the game think that we're in the room that's like directly to the right of the elevator that leads down to Ridley's lair? So if we are currently in, where was that again? OE 1.6. Remember, OE is the Y. So OE 1.6 is this room. So OE, OF, 1.0, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.7. So if I set that then to 1.7, and then this X position, which is 1.6, we could do 1.7, 1.8. If I go through this door, will it take me directly to the room with the elevator in it? Oh no! No! Why does unpausing send you back to the title screen? Oh, no. And what were the values? It was... Actually, they might still be correct here. 1.718. 1.718. If I go through this door, are we at the elevator? I might have gone down one too far. 1.718. I'll do 1.618. No. What happened? I didn't press the right thing there at all. Okay, so 1.618. Will this take us to the elevator room? Save state. We just warped all the way through Norfair, everybody. No one wanted to see that stuff. So you can actually do some really interesting map-related shenanigans then with that. And what's the state? So let's just save on state 9. I don't actually want to save state somewhere where like we can't get back. I'll also turn off the increased speed. I love it. I don't know what people's reaction to it will be though. They'll be like, it's not legit. With everything else going on, that's the one thing that's wrecking this completely traditional Metroid experience. Alright, to the left we go. On our way to Ridley's lair. So, hands up if you are not at all sad that we just skipped the entirety of Norfair. So again, that's usually an essential part of the game where you're picking up things like the high jump boots and the screw attack, but you know, we kind of cheesed things a little bit because of the way that, you know, we started with a lot of power-ups. So this room is really sneaky where you're going to hit like this big pipe wall and your reaction is probably going to be that, oh no, I haven't been save stating. Maybe if we just wait it out. So I'm going to press the tab button a few times. It's not looking so hopeful. I can't believe that. I can't believe it's just like in pieces. And that's like, nah, you know what? I'm not going to crash today. So you'll probably try and bomb jump over that where there's actually a secret under the floor. I would love an E-Tank. So there is actually a... If it ever revives, I will be happy to explain to you what's going on here. Oh, well, it kind of came back. But I don't think this is looking also right. Again, we got some katakana down here. Left over from the Japanese version, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think we're a little bit toast, as the title screen would imply. So let's get out of here. And as I wanted to explain to you all before I was rudely interrupted, these two blocks, it really doesn't like that room. Here we go. These two blocks are fake. So that's what I've been trying to tell you all this time. We gotta jump over them ever so carefully. I wanted that E-Tank really bad, considering that we are down to like 2 of them, and now we have full health. Beautiful. So if you miss out on that, you can go through that door to the left and try and get it again from the other side, but it's kind of a pain. Okay, so if we continue to the right here, we should... Ooh, did you see that? That's kind of funky. Got kind of a glitch room going on there. But we're almost at Ridley's room, which, as we've proven, we can just kind of warp to it anytime we want, should we wish. Let's load this again, because there were some real shenanigans happening there. Okay. We're not that far from Ridley. Just blast our way through all this. Enemies want to stay out of my way. I won't complain. Ugh. So yeah, this is clearly not how this room is supposed to look. Like, again, it just looks like a case of the map. Okay, where's my X and Y position? That would be 30D and 30E. 30D. If I... So... 30D... Let's do, like, BO here, and... BO. Like, where am I here? Like, it might be because it thinks I'm in, like, a different room now? Otherwise, I'm not sure why it would still have me stuck up there if I'm trying to lower Samus's... Like, I think I'm still above the screen. Like, again, here's my Y position, 5-1. If I press A, it only changes by, like, 2, so it's like I'm stuck inside the wall or something somewhere. Listen to the funky music. There I am! Yes! No! Why did I save? Why did I save just as that happened? I mean, we can kind of see Samus phasing in and out of existence. And we're once again frozen, but not quite. This room is a menace. This kind of thing we got going on here. Alright, back to this area again. Oh my gosh, she's blue again! Why is she blue? Can I shoot missiles? Like, you can see her trying to shoot. But I don't get this blue thing. When does this ever happen? Or like, what is this? That stops you from shooting. Like, it reminds me of like the enemy from Zelda or Star Tropics, where you can't attack for a little while, except this is a little more permanent, unfortunately. It's like she's been frozen with the ice beam. Oh. Alright, we might have to load state again on that. But yeah, just so many funky things happening in this game. Hopefully everyone's been enjoying it. We're almost done with Ridley, and then... I'm not sure what our plan will be to get back to the beginning, like, as quickly as possible. Oh, I was just about to save state too. Will it survive? Will it come back? Like, how? How is that even possible? Will it survive again? Just crazy. Alright, we'll save that. The music has seen better days. Alright, let's get through here. I wonder if, once again, we're going to have trouble with that room. We might have to look into our hex editor over there and fix the map. Yeah, it really doesn't like this. Oh. I love that. Why? Why? So the solution to that might just have to be that we once again find this location on the map and fix it. Where are we? We are currently trying to get through this mess right here. Where are a bunch of 26s? 2, 6. So 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, 6. And then it should be followed by like a 1D. Yes. So below these 2 6s, we should have 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. So down here, 2, 0, 2, 1. This 6B is what's causing all of the trouble. So with that being a 2, 1 now, well, if we do this, 2, 1. 2, 1. We should now have no issue. Yes! I don't know why the morph ball is just hanging out there. But we grabbed it for some reason. Heck yeah! And we got double morph ball. Probably not. So yeah, no like, not morph ball, sorry. Morph ball and ball. There's no morph ball jumping or anything like that in this game. I like how, like, it once again made a 6B here. Problem is, I think this was supposed to be like a room with a door. So, yeah, that caused some problems. And there's even an OF coming up. Maybe? Okay, actually the OF might be correct. Wait, no! Why can't I go through the door? Oh, no! We are just not meant to get to Ridley. Kraid actually didn't go too bad. But like... doors don't work anymore. And now... Samus is kind of like... Whoa. Well, can I modify like our X position then to get through this door? Was it 30D? 30E, right? 30E. We can see this. Like if I do like an E9, push us kind of into there. No, it still doesn't work. No! Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Alright. No more Mr. Nice Guy. What's our save states here? 7? 9, save. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get back to where Ridley's lair is here. So if we look at the map, we can see that the Ridley boss fight is 1-2. Where are we here? We just came down this elevator. And there should be a couple of OEs around. Alright, so OE 03. If I change this OE to 1-2, then theoretically, if I go to the left here, we made it to Ridley's room, everybody! Oh shoot, but he's not here. Causes a bit of an issue. I was hoping that he would like load in with it, but maybe it thinks that we already killed Ridley? Like, wouldn't that be really funny? If like the Ridley flag got flipped somehow and all this, struggle to get there, and he's like not even there anyway? Because I'm surprised that he wouldn't load in from that. Let's make every room Ridley's room. That's gonna cost us a lot of missiles, but we'll see what happens. No, he's not in this one either. Maybe we need a new strategy. Like if we look at the map, instead of going all the way around here, maybe we make a tunnel through the bottom. So OE, so we're in this 03 right now. So if I turned this, I wonder what the camera would think of that. 02. So let's actually go back to here. And before we go down the elevator, we are going to come back to this 03. What's a good one to make it? 04, because it's kind of just like a straight down shaft. So let's do 04. 04. So we've just made a thing here. And then we'll put 03 where 28 is. 03 here. Let's see what that does. If we've just kind of made a little bit of a shortcut to Ridley. Hold tab to resume. Yes, no, maybe. I think I save stated after making those changes. So there you go. So we're falling straight down. And now if I go to the left here, it brings us to here, which is exactly what I wanted. And we get a missile pickup because why not? So now we've kind of warped ourselves partway through Ridley's lair. We are now in this room right here. So yeah, one thing I guess could have done way back when is I could have made a nice shortcut to there. But from here, now that we've skipped this room, which seems to be the source of so much pain and suffering, we'll see if we can get to Ridley's lair. But see, there's all sorts of techniques you can abuse when you have access to the RAM to try and, you know, get to where you want to go. Why am I just falling through the floor? Like, I know this room, I think, has a fake block somewhere. Maybe that was just what was happening. And it is lagging badly. Okay. Oh my god, I save stated at the worst possible time. Oh no. Okay, well, we're surprisingly making like a little bit of progress. Yes, let me down. Let me down, yes. And again, I can modify our Y position to help with this. 3OD. 3OD is like my new favorite. Let's do FO. Yes. Why? No. I mean, it's like we're kind of still falling, but not really. I can hear that we're still going. Okay, we're gonna once again try and get down as far as we can. Let's turn it into the morph ball here. It is kind of like a little bit of a puzzle. Like, the fact that there are even some breakable blocks, it's actually really cool. Yes! Yes! No glitching required! That is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna save right now. This should be the hallway to Ridley, barring any hilarity going on. Alright, he's got to make a few silly jumps. You thought Metroid was slow before. You ain't seen nothing yet. And I didn't, ever end up getting that extra E-tank. So we do have to be a little bit health conscious, but like at the same time, we should be fine. All right, this should be Ridley's room. You're always taking a chance when you do a save during a room transition. I think that the flag must have got set that Ridley is dead. So all of this was actually for nothing. Darn it. So with that, I guess we're going back to Brinstar. What a freaking guy that Ridley is. So, the question then is, what is the best way to go about doing this? The game does not want me to get any more E-tanks. And the E-tank is gone. We had fake floor in front of an E-tank before. Now we just have fake E-tank altogether. So, let's get back to Brinstar. And the question is, what's the best way to do that, I wonder? Okay, glitch back to the title screen. Wonderful. If we destroy ourselves one more time, interestingly, we're not losing any energy by being in the lava. What happened to our health that, like, it's not even going down? Just maybe whatever tells the game to remove health when you're in the lava isn't working. So even if I did, like, 0 zeros here, it's not going to take us out because the lava doesn't do any damage anymore. That's actually really cool. But okay, you all saw it, the proof right there that apparently Ridley is dead. Wow, Samus is just invincible. Nothing is killing her. Interesting, like, extra energy tank there. Second row of energy tank. That would have been cool. A lot of later Metroid games would do that. Ha! Sasa! Katakana up in the ceiling. But yeah, Metroid 1 just got, that basic thing. So yeah, we're actually invincible, which is so cool. It makes me not want to just load state Because whatever glitch we activated that has made us invincible is really neat. So what we'll do then is maybe we will... What if I add an elevator room to the one beside this one? 13141415. Okay. What if I made this 1-3 into an 0-2? Would the next room have an elevator in it? Oh, I might have to. Okay, so Ridley dead, apparently. Come on, elevator. Nah, the game's too smart. It knows that there's not supposed to be an elevator here, unfortunately. So, what we might just do then is mess with the coordinates again, because why the heck not? What are the coordinates of the elevator room? Is it actually just 1818? Is that what I'm doing wrong here? Let's see, 1818. Will that take me to beside the elevator room? It is! Wow, what a fancy number. Roll that in Vegas. You get a big payday. Okay, so that's taking us back to Norfair here. So should we get out of Norfair legitimately, and then from Norfair, look at that! That's some cool stuff going on. I have no idea what exactly it is that's hurting me. There seems to be fragments of enemies all over the place. And now they're gone, so fair enough. Wow, I'm just getting like pushed back by something. Okay, it might be time to modify our expedition. We are getting hurt by something that we cannot even see, which is about par for the course of how fair Metroid usually is. I guess there's just like an enemy there. Can I freeze him and then jump on him? Normally that's what you want to do in this room. Okay, it's gotta use our 6th Metroid sense here. And it looks like we may have hit a dead end. We are never meant to get back to Brinstar, are we? Oh, it's doing that cool screen looping thing again. At this point, we might just get destroyed. Will it take us to the beginning of Norfair, or will it take us to where we came up from Ridley? Is a really interesting question. I think the no death run's already ruined. Oh, I was about to save state too. Just hold the speed up there for a second. Like the fact that it survives that. Not again. No! Okay, thank goodness. Game over, that's fine. This is the entrance to Norfair, right? So we're good. We're good. Oh my gosh. What a crazy game. Again, somehow made even crazier. I have no idea what state we're supposed to be on anymore. Alright, that was the coolest thing we've ever done. Back into Brinstar Town. So where we want to go, our current location is OB16. Let's go to the room that checks if you've defeated both the bosses. We want to go to this 2B right here. So that would be like room... So if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 X and 2Y. So we want to 02, 04? Will that get us to where we want to go? Maybe. 02, 04. Save. In the door. Okay, I went one room too far. 0205, I think is what we want then. No, it doesn't think that we defeated. But, oh, it thinks that the statue was already up. As if we had come in here after defeating Ridley and already hit that. And then the thing is here correctly. Please just let me get down there. We are so close. So yeah, whatever bit flips when you put those statues up after defeating a boss, we just got lucky and it hit it. Although Kraid we still had to, you know, take out. Who knows? We could have avoided that whole detour down to Ridley's lair. Come on, game. You can do it. No! It's getting worse as we get further in. I guess all of the, glitches are just kind of starting to compound. It's getting really bad. Alright. I realize we have, like, next to no health for this. So we better be really good at not getting attacked by the Metroids. Although nothing can save us from that. Alright, back in action, here we go. So these guys, I think, drop better health pickups. Where, yeah, they heal 30 instead of the usual 5. If the health pickups in the main game weren't so bad, Metroid would be a far less tedious experience. So why they save these health pickups, which, like, exist in the game, but only for when you defeat Metroids, I have no clue. It would really have been nice to, you know, be able to grind on some of those in a place that isn't, you know, here. But that's what Nintendo decided, and so it was. So you don't have to defeat all the Metroids, but, you know, you do get a bit more powered up should you do so. And the missiles that they drop are also better than the typical ones they drop in the main game, where you only get 2 per pickup. Again, I can't believe that just holding... Oh no. Oh, that's what that's from, when you get eaten by the Metroid. Oh... Well, now we're toast. Now we're toast. Yeah, joke's on you, I guess. Oh! Alright. Well, I guess that's what the save state is for. We're making them anyway. Might as well make the best of it. So yeah, you gotta freeze these guys. And again, like, if you have full stats, there's no reason that you actually have to take them out. Almost there. Should probably save because we're making some progress. We don't want to have to do it all over again. We're getting a good number of missiles and health, as we have like 2 or 3 more rooms to go before Mother Brain and all that fun. Alright, down 1 more room here and then to the left. And we're there, but not before we encounter a few more Metroids. Too bad nothing, you know, funky's happening with the Metroids. Thanks to the Corruptor, but... You know, I guess we're getting by, so we won't complain too much. And is this going to be another case where if we wait, we'll be rewarded? Maybe? Like, it seems so done. Like, there's no way you'd ever expect the game to start working from this. Now, I'm going to press tab a couple times for the speed up. Things are still happening. Things are still happening. And it's working again. No loading state required. Like, that's insane. That's the craziest part of today's video. Is seeing how after the game looked like it's just completely dead, it somehow comes back time and time again. I don't understand it. I just cannot make sense of that at all. Some health would be nice before we get to the end here. Thank you very much. Alright, 1 more room to... No. Is that... So that might be the map again doing that? How was that fair? Like, phase for the floor. Oh, it's still working. Okay. And then after this, it's Mother Brain. We don't really need to fight any more of these guys. We have enough missiles. I mean, I guess I can never have to hurt that a few more things. Just in case. I thought I hit that guy more than 5 times. Let's save here. Whoops. Now that was hardly fair. The OMB has been set, everybody. Take note. So some missiles would be really nice. You know, again, you don't need like that many for Mother Brain, but there's a whole bunch of stuff you gotta go through on the way. This is looking a little bit better. Ooh. Close. Okay. Here we go, everyone. The final room! Of course it would look like that. Of course. But what if we hold tab? Insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, wow. Alright. So the funny thing about Metroid is, like, if you game over or you game over it and took your password down, it remembers that you defeat these kind of, I think people call them life support things, you know, along the way here. So you don't ever have to destroy these once you've destroyed them. Or like you could leave the room and come back, you know, get some health. And then you don't have to worry about these again, which is nice. This one doesn't seem to want to die though, so that's not so great. We might be in a case where it's not dying. You know what we could do? You know what we could do? Not like this has been the most legitimate playthrough to this point. Couldn't the game just stop freezing? We have one more room, kind of, to go. If it could just let me get in there and fight Mother Brain, I would be very happy. Okay, so what was it? 30D or 30E? 30E, right? 30E. CD. How about... It is really crumbling at the seams here. 8-8. Get out of that. Save. Here. 1-1. Save. Here again. B4. How about 9-9? Save. Through the wall we go. 3-4. More like 1-4. Into the juice. Oh my gosh. Okay. Save. We are so close. B4. Well, if I deleted all that, would not be good. Okay, here. We want like 9-9. She's like kind of off screen now, so I should probably center the screen a little bit. Okay. We are almost there. B4. We're going to turn into 9-9 to get us into here. And we're going to save that. We are at Mother Brain, everyone. Get the missiles turned on. And here we go. This mashing B sword. No! Okay, okay. We can do this. We can do this. Like, if not for the Cheerios coming out the back there. Almost. We had a really good run there. Like the kind of double bounce we got going on. Oh, that was perfect. No, not quite. Come on, this is it. This is it. Two health. We have 2 health. No. Alright, final try right here. Why do I... Every time I load state, I have to remember to switch back to the old missiles. I didn't even touch that. Alright, you know what? You know what? We've cheated to crap him back for the rest of this playthrough. Alright, Mother Brain in room. Okay, 9-8. 9-8 is what controls all the Mother Brain stuff. Where's 9-8? There's no more Mr. Nice Guy here. 9-8 is 01. 01 means Mother Brain in room. So does that change to like a 2 when Mother Brain gets hit? It does. 02 means Mother Brain is taking a whooping. 3 means Mother Brain is dying. I mean, could we? Is it possible? Actually, 9-8. Whoops. Did I do that? Couldn't have been me. You saw nothing. Alright, everyone. We beat the game 100% legitimately, and no one can say otherwise. And now it's the classic escape sequence. And you knew it wouldn't be that easy. One last platforming endeavor. Up the escape shaft. And then we never have to play Metroid 1 again. It's too bad they didn't create, like, you know, a bit of a variation on working your way up here. Like, it's just the same screen as you can see on that map repeated like 6 times. Could have made it a little more funky. Because once you get the rhythm down, I say as I start falling to the bottom. Ooh! Ah. We did it! Look at that! Look at the funky colors. That was like some Atari 2600 stuff going on. You fulfilled your mission. Oh, how long do you think that took us? What ending do you think we're gonna get after all that? Like, just how... I don't even know how long that actually was. There you go! It's very suntanned, Samus. You go on a vacation. Have a good one. That was Metroid on the NES Corrupted. I hope that you enjoyed that. Whoa, she's transforming again? Oh, so it's just like the animation didn't have a chance to finish. Sure, why not? Let me know what you thought about that in the comments. Let me know if you agree that we shan't ever play Metroid 1 for as long as we shall live again. It's a cool game. You know, I'm not against playing more of it, but maybe corrupting it wasn't the best idea. So join me next time as we dive into and corrupt another game. So take care, everyone, and have a great day.